Welcome everyone. This is Craft Art Collectibles YouTube channel. We're not doing any artwork in this. Well, I guess if you want to call food art, then yeah, we're going to create some artwork. This is a recipe kind of handed down to me. I've been watching people cook this since the 80s. Several different versions. You know, just people put in and take out whatever they want. You can make variations of it with different meats. But this is pretty much the version I was taught, and it's pretty simple. It's a beef roast. Gosh darn it. It is a rump roast. Okay, it wasn't very big, but if you don't buy the right meat, it's going to be real stringy and it's going to suck. All right, so this meat, as you can see, is nice and marbled. Okay. If you look at this piece of meat, you can see that it runs this way. Okay. And it's just like a log. You're not going to cut the log. You're not going to rip the log and use the stringy parts. You're cutting across the grain, which is what I'm actually cutting at an angle across the grain to get bigger pieces. Now, I'll continue to cut this, but I've already cut a bunch. And normally I don't do any kind of food videos, but I've done a lot of cooking in my day. And you can see that I've cut these thin enough to where I can just actually start pulling them apart. That's how thin they are. I mean, they're not real thin. I can hand cut that pretty good. And then you can pound them out. I actually use a weight. And if the girls haven't used it, and just throwing it in the sink over here. Yeah, oh, it's not here. I got a little bitty 1 pound weight that I'll use to smash them out. I mean, you can use a hammer, or you can use a mallet, a kitchen mallet, or whatever you want. I got an extra piece of meat hanging off the side over here. I'm going to take off. And basically it was just a layer of fat that I didn't want to trim off. But I'll cook that too. I'll do something with it. All right, so basically, you can see I'm just trying to cut across the grain, making nice pieces that we can, I guess I can go into explaining what we're going to do here with them. So you got this piece of meat, right? We're going to make a mixture of onions, tomatoes, garlic, some Italian herbs, seasonings, and then some cheese. Not a whole bunch. And then we'll bread this, make the mixture up. It's just like a dough, kind of, you know, not like dough, but it's just a loose mixture that you put inside there, and then you roll it up. Now, the way I was showed was on the grill. That's how they cooked them. They put them on grated grates that you could close. I actually have some. That's the reason why I bought them. Was for this. I've been cooking them for years. So basically what I'm doing, just cutting across grain. Once I get started, I'll put my fingers over the edge just to keep it from flopping over. And then there'll be a little bit of fat, like I said, that was on that edge. And we'll be smacking them out. We'll be making them. These pieces are almost too long now for my knife. That's all right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit to the process of what I'm going to add to it. Onions, tomatoes, garlic, and I actually grow my own garlic, so, and some of my own Italian seasonings. Basil. I got several different kinds of basil. I even got a sweet Greek. Oh, good golly. Sweet Greek oregano. And it almost looks like the basil. So I'm going to continue cutting this. We'll get set up to make the mixture. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to dice a tomato and a little piece of onion and the garlic that I grow. I'm going to pull some out and we'll go to town. I'm not going to make you watch me do all this, okay? All right, everybody, it's assembly time. I've got my mixture right here. Tomato, onion, garlic powder, sea salt, mozzarella, Parmesan, all to your liking, all to your taste. We got some basil in there and some just straight Italian seasoning from one of the like McCormick's or whatever. But yeah, it's all mixed up. You can see it's kind of dry. And that was the main intention, was to get it kind of dry. Actually, what I want to do is add some of these breadcrumbs in here. And that actually dries it up a little more. Mix it all around. And you see I got my pile of meat there. Trimming off any fat content that we don't want on there. And I've actually, we didn't have Italian breadcrumbs. I was going to make some. But I looked up there and we actually had a couple bags of croutons. So I just mixed up a bag. Croutons. Works really good. Right? So I'm going to sprinkle some on here. And all I'm doing is I'm pounding these out. And she is assembling them. Now actually, we could cut this one in half. Right here and make two. Let's go ahead and do that. If the ones we can, honey, I'll get you a knife. Hold on a sec. Let's go ahead and cut these. So, I'm pounding them out. She's assembling them. And we'll be back with a full batch ready to go. We're actually going to broil them. I wanted to put them on the grill, but that didn't work out. So we are going to broil them, put some flame on the top of them, flip them over. I do believe I have some shish kebab sticks that we're going to use. So stay tuned. And we're just moving along. So these pieces are pretty wide. I'm just going to cut them in half. Handy dandy weight. 1 pound York. Works perfect. Put a little olive oil on it every now and then. You don't have to do much with it. Now, if you guys want to make your own homemade breadcrumbs, just toast some bread, put your Italian seasonings in some butter, butter it. After it's dried, Then put it in the oven. Throw your broiler on for a couple minutes. Retoast that butter. Let it dry. And blend them all up. At least that's what I could do. You don't even have to go that far. You can just use some toasted bread. Toast. Just toast it. Plain toast and add the seasonings. Put it in a blender. Or one of them bullets or whatever. It's sitting behind me here. I got meat juice on my hands. I don't want to touch nothing. So we're almost done getting them all breaded out. I'm down to the last bit of my breading here. Sorry, honey. Yeah. Shoot them all across the table. All right. You can do this with pork. You can do it with chicken. You can do it with anything you want. Now, you could do it with vegetables. You could probably do it with a big old shiitake mushroom. Which we'll be cooking that here in a minute. I ate some of this earlier with a piece of this that I cooked in some bacon grease with some onion. Oh my God, it was so good. Got to keep the bacon grease low on the dietary needs list though. I don't eat hardly any pork anymore. Don't eat junk, at least not a whole lot of junk. I do like to fry a few things, but I tend to fry some stuff and only eat just a little bit of it. All right, I gotta fluff it again real quick. All right, down to the last few, honey. This is it, one more. Oh, they smell so good. You guys are bumming. I'm gonna make some Alfredo sauce. Poor man's Alfredo. I'll show you how to do it. You at least got to have some butter and some Parmesan and some kind of milk product. I'll tell you what. Stick that in something. The loose meats. Some of these are so thin, they don't need a whole lot. The best way to cut this stuff is to actually put it in the freezer and let it set up for a little bit. Okay. Let it set up. Maybe an hour or two. It'll start firming up to a point where you can cut right through it and make clean, thin slices. I mean, I don't need to. I can actually cut through this pretty quick. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish assembling, and we'll be right back. All right, we got them rolled and breaded and ready to go. I'm going to put them into a broiler on low, and in like 7-8 minutes, we're going to check them out, and then probably flip them. All right, got set up. We're getting ready to eat. We broiled those. They turned out really good. I've already had a couple of them, nice and tender. Made my own Alfredo sauce. And Alfredo sauce is real easy if you don't know how to make it. Look up the recipe, but it's equal parts Parmesan, butter, and whipping cream. So I am going to eat some of this and along with the rest of everybody else that's here. So you guys have a good one. Easy to make. Try it out.